Hello, my name is Yanis, and today I'm going to talk about signs that you are overdoing your inner work. And in this video, I will give you pointers of what you should stop be doing so that it leads to a healthier approach to your healing process and you hurt yourself less, or you stop making things even worse. So first thing that we need to discuss in the context of this video is the obvious one, the signs. What are the signs of overdoing the inner work? And some of the most obvious ones are that you are out of balance. You are too much self-absorbed and you are not involved in life itself, which means that there is a lack of grounding. And in other words, you are too much in your head, contemplating, ruminating, meditating, analyzing, reflecting a lot. And basically you become overwhelmed by it. And there is no space for life to happen and let it in. Other signs are in form of feelings. And so what are these feelings? Desperation, anxiety, fear, worry, grief. And I want to add note that these feelings doesn't always indicate that you are overdoing your inner work, because sometimes when you are going through an important internal process, then of course in order to let go of the old, it usually gets pushed upwards and activated these deep-seated feelings that you were not aware before. So you might experience anxiety, despair, fear, worry, in order to release them. So you need to let them go. The old that no longer serves you can sometimes be pushed out of you. So when you let go, you free up the space, and then you can fill in some new, healthier, more serving feelings, emotions, and energy. So these feelings that I just mentioned doesn't always indicate that you're overdoing your inner work, but quite often they are signs that you are. So in this video, my given pointers will help you to distinguish for yourself if you are overdoing or you are not. So stay with me. Some other signs that may be indicating that you are overdoing your inner work is that you are avoiding society more and more, or you don't leave the house as much anymore, or you miss out opportunities and experiences in life, and your life in general becomes monotonous, dull, boring. And again, avoiding society doesn't always 100% tell that you are overdoing your inner work. Sometimes you can just go through a phase in your life that you need deep rest or deep self-care, and avoiding crowds is the healthier approach to you in that moment. But if you feel like for some reason that is not what I just said, that you need deep rest, and you just keep avoiding more and more people, more than usual, then this can also be a sign that you are overdoing your inner work and you are very serious about it and very overtaken by it. And when you are overtaken by your inner work, it becomes all about you. It's all about your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. So you become self-absorbed more than normal. And in this way, your perception can also get distorted. You may start to see things more personal than before. For example, when your child, if you're a parent, does something and his behavior triggers you, and you react out of your inner feelings that are not resolved, there is no space for presence in that moment. And you are not being grounded, but you are being controlled by your unconscious pattern. So that is also signs of overdoing inner work, when you become less conscious or less present about your surroundings, about what's happening. It means that you are overwhelmed, it's too much. And if you devote more time to solve your unpleasant inner feelings or your inner conflict, and you forget about relevant life situations or challenges that you need to eventually deal with, but you just keep postponing them, then you're most likely out of balance. And you are simply too much overtaken by your inner world. And this leads to 3 things that I'm going to be talking in more detail. And these 3 things are, so when you're out of balance, it leads you to distraction, it leads you to forcing things to happen, and it also leads you to resistance. So let's talk about these 3 more. So first one, distraction. So when we are out of balance, we naturally tend to look for ways how to compensate this out of balance state of ours. And when we want to compensate, it's not always the healthiest way. A lot of times we don't become aware what's beneath this state of disbalance. yes, you obviously have a clue, or you're aware that there is one or two or three or more things that you need to work on with yourself, that you need to heal. Maybe some past trauma or some limiting belief or something else, suppressed emotions. You know that you need to heal them. But ask yourself this question: if I am trying to solve this right now, in this moment, am I not distracting myself away from what's beneath it? If I, in the present moment, experience some uncomfortable feeling or some very low state of being, and I want to immediately fix that, am I not avoiding the cause of that? It's like trying to solve the symptoms in medical terms and not getting to the core cause of it. So looking for an immediate remedy or a solution to an unpleasant state can be distracting to you, because you can overlook the cause, and that is distraction, or in other words, you're suppressing still. You are not addressing the real cause, you're just addressing the surface level of the symptom, but you're not going deep enough. You're just immediately I want to get rid of this, I want to avoid this, I want this to stop. But the surface level is just inviting you to go deeper. This unpleasantness that you want to stop is a messenger that carries information to tell what needs to be corrected or calibrated. This surface level feeling invites you to go deeper, not to push it away. If we address the symptom, in this case the feeling, and not look what hides behind it, then we are not really fixing the true cause of it, and it will come back and return because we haven't dealt with it on a causal level. So, second thing that overdoing inner work leads to is forcing things to happen, accomplishing everything in one turn. I'm sorry, but it's impossible, and it's unrealistic, and most certainly traumatic to your psyche and other inner systems that you have. And if you would try to solve everything in one time, then you would go crazy. And some people have gone crazy when experiencing too overwhelming, too intense internal processes that they cannot process out. So we need to give time and space our inner systems until the changes that we have initiated can be integrated in these systems. transformation and shift can take time, and usually it does, and it progresses. And so the key is not try to achieve all at once and be like go, 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 go mode in now. In this way, in this go, 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 you will only overwhelm yourself and burn out quickly. As I said, you just need to give time to your inner systems, your aspects to integrate what you have just already processed out or healed, and just give it a time so it finishes. And if there is a very strong interest in you, a curiosity, be honest with yourself. Why is this? To help others? Strong interest in doing the inner work or finding the specific solution to what you want to resolve internally. So ask yourself, why now? Why is it so strong right now? Is it to help yourself? To help others? And this question is important. Not only this question, but ability to answer it honestly, because it can serve as a pretext to force things faster, because you are anxious, and this anxiety might not be that well seen or perceived. Maybe it hides in a deeper level. But if there is anxiety or unease beneath this curiosity, impatience with self and the process, how it's going, if it seems too slow and you are eager to push it faster and unconsciously looking for shortcuts, then it indicates that you still want to force things out. You are not satisfied with the present moment, and you want it to use to get to the better future. If your healing process is getting more and more effort, then there is a high chance that it's too much already for you. You are trying to overpower some parts of you that are probably tired, and these parts actually want you to be doing something else. And this creates internal conflict, and this creates even more resistance, because it happens at the expense of those parts that are not in line with your decision. But I really, really, really want this to happen now. So you contradict your conscious, strong desire with your internal parts' desires. They differ. And they are not acknowledged enough fully. And if there is an internal conflict between your different parts or aspects that is not resolved, then watch out. Because healing and resolution time between these parts is needed. And if you don't provide that, and if consensus is not achieved between your inner aspects and all parts are not aligned in the same place, then you can expect a pushback, an internal pushback, or feeling of unhappiness will arise eventually in the process of doing inner work, because you keep trying so hard even though it's too much already, and you need to give time and space your internal systems to rest before you can move on. But you just keep going and relentlessly, no, I want this faster. And this will build stronger resistance inside of you, which will push back. And if we desperately try to resolve our inner conflict, and this action, this choice comes from anxiety, then the result will definitely not be that good. You have, in this way, you have pushed yourself into artificial inertia, momentum. And you're basically hostage of your own impatient action. You have become less conscious about the course of your inner work. You're overtaken by it. It has consumed you, your mind, your actions. There is a strong presence of your ego as well. And I get it. I mean, this can happen, especially when people have been suffering for so long and so much. They finally want to resolve this once and for all. Come on. Especially if they have been investing in themselves for quite some time, in personal growth. Or maybe there is a shame and guilt that they feel that they had not done enough in the past, and they now think that they need to step up their effort. They need to compensate their lack of action in the past. So they definitely need to make it harder now, work harder on themselves. If you want to work harder on yourself, your inner growth, it's likely that your ego wants to compensate. Because internally you don't want to make the same mistakes again as before. Maybe you were distracted in the past, and now you want to turn it around and be like super focused. Yeah, I get that. And this is okay if you are coming from a place where you were more distracted than focused. Then yes, you need to calibrate. But again, we have to make sure that we don't create more resistance. Instead, we need to align all our parts, aspects, to be on the same side. Forcing or pushing won't serve you well. Because this can lead you from one unbalanced state or one extreme to another extreme. From, for example, from mega distraction to anxious obsession with yourself, with your growth. I really, really want this to happen. You know what I mean. So compensation can lead to overwhelming yourself. So the answer is to seek out for balance, because when we are out of balance, when we are in resistance, when we are distracted, when we are forcing, we are not grounded. And your inner world is like a vast universe, and you can easily get lost there. Pretty easy. So you need to go there step by step. If you do some inner work, some process, okay, it's enough now. You go back. Try to be present in your physical daily life. Don't sit too long in your inner world to obsessively trying to resolve your inner discomfort. It mostly involves multiple layers, and as I said before, trying to resolve it all at once is unreal expectations from yourself as well. Your inner work needs to be linked with physical world, your life, with practical action. Otherwise, we don't ground what we processed internally. And then we fall back to the old patterns, to the old inertia. Life situations are not distraction to your inner work. If you sometimes tend to believe that or complain that life is getting in a way with your growth. Through life, you are able to finally see your inner state of being, actually, and calibrate over time and heal. So life is a support and help to you, not an obstacle. And of course, there are moments when you immerse yourself to inner work in a deeper, more intense manner, but never forget about external world. Because these two are interconnected. Through the external, you can actually become aware of the internal. And inner work is not just about inner work. It's also about life. In the end, in summary, I want to say that what to do about if you become aware that you are overdoing your inner work is the first step is becoming aware of that. Okay, acknowledge that. Okay, I'm out of balance. And the second step is to seek for balance. I know that it can sound easier said than done, but only through your own experience you will become better at finding your own balance. I gave you pointers in this, general pointers in this video, but I cannot give you specific or exact recipe for your own balance. Only you can experience that for yourself, honoring your own process, honoring your own internal aspects and what's happening inside of you. Not forcing, not pushing. Only you. And if you are becoming aware that you are doing things that are putting you out of balance, then learn to pull back. Learn to cultivate patience. So that's it for this video. I hope it helps you in your inner healing journey, and I'll see you in the next videos.